On time. Everybody's had a chance to. Councilman Rao is not going to be present tonight. So everybody's had a chance to look through the minutes. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you for that. So April 13th meeting, I appreciate that. I do have something important to say before we move forward tonight. I want to take a moment to share something I need to share. After a great deal of thought, I've decided that I will not be seeking re-election as mayor. Okay. This is both a personal and professional decision, and I feel it's the right time. I've had an opportunity to serve this community and local government for more than 2 decades, beginning with appointment to the Riverport Authority, and then elected to City Council and elected to mayor. That's not including Calvert City Fire Department chief. But it's truly been an honor to serve the people of Calvert City and to work alongside this council as we move forward, and our city staff especially. Now, this decision isn't about any singular issue. This is simply the right decision for me right now, okay? So I wanted to make this announcement early so others could prepare for November election if that was what we needed to do. I remain fully committed to continuing my duties as mayor and working well with all of you for keeping the city moving forward, okay? So I'm proud of what we've accomplished together, and I'm confident the city is in a strong position of moving forward. We are a well-run community led by dedicated professionals. We've worked together to make this a great place to live and to work, and a strong focus on not just economic development, but quality of life. And I think that's proven out by the 2025 Government of the Year Award. So with that said, I want to get that out of the way because I wasn't going to be able to sit on this entire city council meeting. Okay. So with that said, let's get on with the business of the city here. So we don't have any old business listed per se.
Gene, I just want to say that your heart's always been in the right place.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not an easy decision, but it's one that needed to be announced now in as far as preparing the community to go. So, without any further ado, I'm going to put Elizabeth Mudd up here immediately following that.
Sure. Oh, sorry.
For everyone, Elizabeth Mudd is the president. I'm sitting there stumbling, president or CEO? Both. I could use either one interchangeably.
I hope you all know who I am by now.
We do.
Well, we got people here that may not.
Oh, that's true.
Back in the back. So. And for the viewing audience.
Yes, that's right. You're so right. Okay, well, thank you all for letting me come and just take a little bit of your time this evening. I wanted to come and just provide a quick economic development update with some high-level things we have going on at KLED real quick. So first, I'm going to, if Larry's ready. Awesome. Okay, we're going to start with our active project pipeline. And so these are projects that we are actively working and that are looking to potentially locate in Marshall County. Some of them are looking at Calvert City, some are at Southwest 1 in Benton. But we have a potential capital investment of $597 million in potential CapEx investment, and then with a potential new jobs of 367 tied to those active projects that we are working. So really good numbers for our active project pipeline that we have going on. Next slide, please, Claire. And then, of course, as you all know, I just wanted to share this again with you. We've had a lot of really great momentum the last couple months and years in Calvert City with Marshall Yards being announced, and then James Composites was announced in February. That was project built on our active project list. They are going to be manufacturing a new building up here around 25,000 square feet. It's a $6 million capital investment, 25 new jobs coming to our community. The facility is expected to be completed in November of 2026, and then operations slated to begin early in 2027. So enjoyed working with them on that. As you all know, that is a subsidiary company of James Marine out of Paducah, but thrilled to have them expanding their base here in Marshall County. And then another thing I wanted to share with you all, one of the great tools that we are able to use since we are in the Tennessee Valley area is they have a really great toolbox for economic development. And so there are a lot of different things that I can go to them for. And one of those is economic impact analysis studies. And I use those a lot of times to show what could be if we were to attract this at this level. What does that mean for our local community? And then I can also use it on the back end on after a project is announced, what is it, the overall economic impact for our community? So I wanted to share some of those numbers with you. I had done on Marshall Yards. They are in the TVA authority. They are a WKRECC customer, so which is why I was able to have this done for us. So just wanted to share some of those numbers. So first and foremost, looking at the one-time economic impact, and this was during the construction phase. So economic impact from construction was $51 million. Jobs supported during the construction period was 198. Wages paid to jobs supported during construction period was $12 million. And then total occupational tax generated during the construction period was $191,000. So great numbers from that one time during the construction period of that project. Next slide, please. Okay, and then looking at annual economic impact from operations and visitor spending. Annual economic impact from operations, $45 million. Impact from visitor spending, $26 million, for a total annual economic impact that we will see from Marshall Yards at $61 million into our community. And then, of course, we want to know, what is that occupational tax that is coming off those jobs, and what does that mean for you all as a city? So annual direct occupational tax. And again, I should have prefaced this, these are all estimates. These are not direct numbers, but from a study, we can base on what is it potentially going to look like for you all in terms of new tax dollars to your rolls. So for Calvert City, $16,640. Marshall County, $33,000, and then to the school district, as we know, they level a percent of occupational tax for those who live and work in the county. They would see around $13,000 in new occupational tax each year from this project. And then, of course, property tax is another big piece of that as well. And we're looking at annual direct property tax. This is both real and personal property coming into Calvert City, $95,000 annually in new property tax. And then for Marshall County, $288,000 in new property tax, with $161,000 of that going to our school districts, which is wonderful as well for them to be able to use. So really great numbers in terms of that project and the economic impact it has on Marshall County and Calvert City as a whole. So really thrilled to see those numbers. And of course, that project couldn't have been done without you all and your partnership and our collaboration. So a job well done to everybody in this room. We couldn't have done it without each other. So I appreciate you all. And then just a couple other things I wanted to share. TVA also has another grant program that is called Workforce Invest. And so that is a grant program that allows us to apply for different projects that are going to help our workforce development pipeline. So I've been working with the Marshall County School System this year, and Principal Beth and Superintendent Thorpe. We are going to be applying for a $150,000 grant for them to buy 2 heavy equipment simulators to work on their new operating engineer and heavy equipment engineer pathway. So we're going to work on that, since that is a 2 job-related fields that are really seeing the workers necessary in our area. So we're going to go after dollars to get 2 heavy equipment simulators into the Marshall County Technical Center. So excited about that and working with them on that. And then quickly, just a legislative update. There was a lot going on this year in Frankfort in terms of economic development. And I know I've shared with my board, so Jean and Blair have heard this probably too much, but we are always looking at, in terms of incentives, how we can reform those and make those better. So we all know the state income tax is continuing to be lowered, which is great. We love that. The state income tax is also tied to one of our main incentives that we have to offer at the state when we're looking to help existing businesses grow as well as attract new in. So there has been a negative effect in terms of that income tax number going down in terms of the incentive that we have to offer. So Senate Bill 197 was a bill that was introduced this session to look at how do we bring the value back of KBI in terms of that income tax credit for when companies are looking to locate here. We're hoping that is approved by the governor. That is the bill that KAD, my professional association, is supporting, and one that would be beneficial to our area as well. But just looking at those incentive reforms, that's something that we're going to just have to continually look at so we remain competitive with our bordering states. We have a lot of those, and a lot of them are very strategic and aggressive in terms of economic development. So just making sure we at the state level are staying on par with them and remain competitive as well. So a lot going on legislative wise. We did see the Kentucky Product Development Initiative. I know I've shared with you all that before. Those are funds, another grant program that we can go after in terms of site development dollars in order to help get sites developed for industrial development. That was funded again in this budget session to the tune of $50 million. We received $70 million the last budget session, so we would have loved to see it at $70 million, but $50 million is also a great win. But hope that that continues to be funded each and every year. In terms of how that would affect us here, it assists me a lot in terms of having access to those funds. For Southwest One, I am able to pull, since it is in TVA territory, from TVA and Best Prep. But for Calvert City, KBI is very important because I can't pull from TVA and Best Prep since it's not in the TVA territory. So in terms of grants for site development dollars for this area, KBI is vitally important. So anytime you speak with Representative Freeland or Senator Carroll, please tell them thank you for putting that in the budget. That's a really big deal to ourselves and the rest of my colleagues across the state. So that's a really great thing too. And then last but not least, I know we have all kind of been watching what's going on with one of our existing businesses in CCMA. And I shared with the mayor and the judge. We did see that was coming, and we are great partners at the West Kentucky Workforce Board. We're on it. They had their rapid response teams out there, and they have been out there for the past 2 weeks working with those employees and making sure they have all the necessary services that are available to them being laid off. So I just did want to share with you all with that I've been in contact with those groups and making sure those employees up there are being assisted in any way they can be. So I think that is all I have for an update. I can actually take any questions or thoughts. KPDI. Kentucky Product Development Initiative. Yes.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So on the property taxes on Marshall Yards, you're referring to the payment in lieu of taxes. Is that what those numbers?
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah.
Maybe you can explain it. You had mentioned the schools getting additional money from that, but
Yes.
from what I was thinking that they were not going to pay anything to the schools because that was going to have a net negative from the money they gave to the state, so that wasn't going to be figured in.
Sure. So in terms of this would be after that RRB for the schools.
Okay.
If you look at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. But you all are getting the property tax immediately. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in the future, with it still being,
40 years.
Well, there's an iterative procedure
Mm-hmm.
that they want to make sure they maximize.
Mm-hmm.
That when they just were to contribute to direct,
It was going to be more money by not taking.
the school would lose funding. And so there's a process they want to go through to make sure that they maximize the impact they can to the
I just
school.
want to make sure I was clear. I didn't
Right.
misunderstand something.
yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. We're still in the agenda for visitors and petitioners for the council. I think we might have a visitor here that would like to speak to us.
I guess that'd be me.
Oh, come on up. Come on up. You've got to
I'll sit
use,
right back here.
no. You got to come up and use the microphone and all that good stuff.
All right, this is great.
I love this idea, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just kicking myself for not hearing about it or not thinking of it sooner.
I don't have too much tonight. I mean, Chris Ray grew up Cedar Street.
coached her, played with her son.
Played with my son.
Probably, yeah. As I look around, yeah, I've noticed some names. Just recently took the job at Marsh County High School as head coach and also teaching there. My background is running soccer clubs, like thousands of players, employing 50 to 60 coaches, working with people like the lady that just spoke, definitely in Chattanooga with the mayor's office, Chamber of Commerce, Sports Committee. The example, we used to running tournaments that bring in 3-point-something million a weekend to the community, which I know Ralph and my mom and all those parents, your dad, you were probably involved as well. Used to be a tournament here every year that was a driver.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to talk about that too much today because me moving back here, there were some reasons why I moved back. There's some things I can't really talk about tonight, but why I'm here tonight is the up and coming World Cup, and we met with Blair a couple of times. I love running events, love being part of events, and if you'll just follow my Facebook, everyone brings up when I do these events, there's always some charitable piece to that. Yes, we're trying to drive some money and make some money, but it's always what can I give back? Which is also, and I'll ramble a lot, it's one of the reasons I'm back here at this point in my life is it was an opportunity for me to move back and give back, and I saw an opportunity to do some things on a large scale that I've done in other places. So back to the point I'm here. So the opening World Cup match for the men's is on I think it's the 12th or 13th. It's on a Friday. I talked to Blair about because I was going to do this in Des Moines, Iowa, before I decided to leave 4 weeks ago. Is having a big viewing party and making that also a fundraising type event. Also, I'm a member of the Lions as well, and I'm going to their lunch on Thursday to get introduced to all of them. But I was a member of the Lions Club up in Des Moines to do, and also for the boosters to raise some money, and not just for raise some money for the boosters, but also for the Lions, or come up with some ideas how to be creative about doing that. So that was part of it. With that going, that piece is, of course, it's a World Cup and it's a festive atmosphere. Is beer sales? Would that be an option? Could we maybe not discuss it right now and everyone think about it and we get a little bit more input on what it would look like? And Blair and I kind of talk about that. But is that something we can do? Because that's, for me, with the World Cup, and not that you have to have beer, but it'd be nice to have some beer. And it also, with some of the revenue that could be generated through those sales, could really help some of the programs that we'd be trying to help. The two I'm thinking of right now would definitely be the booster clubs for the men's and women's team, maybe the athletic program, and then the Lions finding someone, organization. I mean, I have a single parent mom that my brother and I are in the process of starting a nonprofit to, when we do events like this, to raise money to help kids that were in the situation that my mom was. So it's not just about drinking beer. I'm trying to generate some revenue and the most we can and capture the most participants in that setting. Anyway, so I talked to her a little bit and we've been bouncing around ideas, just like with, and I don't need to say this here, but MediaCom, I've seen their trucks all over, and it seems like everywhere I go, someone's saying something. MediaCom, what we did in Chattanooga was EPB, the electric power board's also the cable provider. They would sponsor events like this, either through a donation or some sort of barter. We'll bring in the trucks, we'll bring in whatever you need, the sound system. So that phone call almost made David. I was like, let me see what this might look like first before I start doing my normal thing of trying to get some of these things taken care of. And I know Blair's got a lot on her plate, and that's where me getting more, I've only been here for 2 weeks, and my stuff's still packed up in boxes. And I'm staying at someone's lake house. So I really
Hey, it's terrible to stay at somebody's lake house during the summertime. I'm sorry you're having to rough it so much, Coach.
Memorial Day, so I'm just trying to get through spring break.
Well, you've got a good benefactor there. I think that well, first off, after my announcement earlier in more depth, I'm proud of Calvert City because we go outside the box thinking.
Yeah,
and I think we lead the area in doing that in a thoughtful way. So what you're proposing has some interest in, but there's some things we have to take care of. What was the date again? What are we thinking for the date?
It's in
Well,
June,
yeah.
isn't it? June
Yeah,
12th.
June 12th.
June 12th. Okay, so we got a while to do this. I think currently, if I'm not mistaken, we have a problem with the beverages in the park.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, so we've got a problem with that, and we need to work our way through that, and probably get you some feedback pretty quick so you can look at other options if we can't pull it off here, right? So
Yeah, I was thinking about, because what we've also done in other cities that I've been in is partner with, like I've already mentioned something to the brew house. Someone that already has a liquor license and kind of piggybacking off of them being involved, and other people could come in and kind of work through their.
well, we do have one venue that can happen at, and that's Civic Center. It's an indoor venue.
Yeah.
But
Well,
and I don't know how that would fit in the
I didn't
plan.
mention that to Blair yet, because
Yeah,
you never know
yeah.
what the weather is.
So,
That
yeah.
could always be our backup, but we can't do something at the amphitheater, then we got to pivot really quick and move everything across the street.
What about the state park?
Yeah.
What about that?
Well,
That's in the city
when
limits.
I
They
just
had a
know-
beer garden one time.
Again,
Well-
I'm all about doing as much as I can in Calvert, because that's kind of why I moved home, and that's what
Right.
how
right.
I was raised. And
Well,
you
I
guys
think
doing some of the things you've done have also attracted me here talking.
You have any idea how many people you're thinking showing up?
There could be, I want to try to attract as many people from
Sure.
I mean, I have friends in Reedland, Murray, all these families up close. I mean, I think a lot of people, if we get the word out, start promoting, doing the right things through social media, then it doesn't have, we don't have to have, and unfortunately, sometimes the way I work, I don't know if I should announce that, but let's get it going and things will fall into place, and they always do.
well,
Two things.
Yep.
Now,
go ahead.
at the Civic Center, it's already allowed. Alcohol use in the Civic Center is allowed. That's the only place in the parks currently right now that it is allowed.
Yeah.
Two, you have to have a license to do that. That's doable. Those are doable. To do it at the amphitheater right now was gonna have to make a change in the ruling on alcohol in the park.
The only
So,
thing
and I'm just telling you what, that's the.
And I do want to interject here.
Yeah.
Coach, I really appreciate the idea.
Yeah.
I'm actually enthusiastic that it could add some
I just want to add a
much
little bit
better.
more
But hang on,
what the event.
this is not the first event we've had come to us and kind of tap the edges. Probably the one that's come to address council this way. But go ahead.
The event also picturing, it can be done, because we've had to pivot and go indoors from outdoors events, but getting food trucks involved. And there's also an opportunity to capture some revenue there with all the events that I've ran. It's always, they either give us 250, or it's percentage of sales, 15% or 20%. Having some small sided games set up across the creek for the kids. The match is not till 8, so I'm thinking from 4:30, 5 o'clock, you have a captive audience. If we have food trucks, get people from Calvert City enjoying being together. I know I've thought about, usually an alumni thing is in May with Meet the Marshals. It's a little quick pivot for me to try to start connecting these people. But for me, coming home, I came home 3 or 4 times for alumni games. I don't want to offend anyone, but it'd be a lot more fun if there was a lot more than me showing up and trying to kill myself and everyone else out there. If we could have more of us coming together doing those type things. I was thinking we could do our golf tournament through the day or Saturday and just kind of capture everyone being home. But again, I like to brainstorm, but the part of being in the park was maybe to have food trucks, have some vendors set up, because you also capture revenue with providing space for vendors, almost like a farmer's market. Just doing a lot for that day.
Well, the vision you have of the food trucks and the kids' activity stuff, we're all about that.
Yeah.
We know how to do that. Now, what
And
we
you have to
haven't,
put the beer.
Yeah.
In other communities, we have to just rope it off.
right. So you have
This
a
area with
beer
a couple of
garden
TVs.
sort of event. It's kind of what you're
Yeah.
just trying to understand, get a better vision.
I mean, I'm fine with them carrying beers as long as there's a cup that everyone has to have it in. But again, I know trying to get some of these passed, it's easier, especially the first time, saying we'll have a designated area. We'll have TV set up in that area. Keep your cups in there.
My concern, that's what I was gonna ask about having an area, because I don't see
You'd
a
have to anyway.
situation where you would have, just people walking
By
around the
state law,
park.
right?
Huh?
By state law.
You have to have a defined
And you would
area
have the
anyway.
attendees
Okay.
of the event, plus just your regular park users intermingling with them. That probably,
Yeah.
but like if you have to have
But you would have,
An
you
area.
might just say that everything from the creek on that one side of Memorial Park, on the west side of Memorial Park, in the area around, it might be defined by it doesn't have to be a roped area, but it would be given the signs that say no beer, no alcohol beyond this point.
Yeah.
Something that indicates this is as far as you go legal.
So
And the other side would be open if you could, but you could do that
we've had a few cases
if you
of
so choose.
similar type stuff in the broader area.
Yeah, the civic center.
And-
the
and
dam's
we've
a good
got-
idea, too. I just,
We've got a prohibition on it in the parks. This council does, and that's what we have. So this system by state law would require it to look like these other things we've seen. And I'm thinking of two in particular. One, and I don't even know what year it was. They had a beer garden in Benton, and it wasn't very well received, but it was a particular area during Tater Day. They had an area that's been a few years back. And then Nita mentioned it earlier about the beer fest that was held at the state park. So that was one some people might remember. So you got those.
That was 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that may
I
still
think
be-
you're right.
I think it made it. I just went to one, but I think it did have two.
I think it may be 2.
But it would look like something like that. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming up, and it's something that is brought up semi-frequently. I think as we develop more, we can consider it and move it forward.
again, the beer thing isn't make or break it, but I just feel like that for opportunity to generate some real revenue.
Right.
So we'll probably just go ahead and move on with we're gonna have the viewing part
Okay.
and some sort of.
Well, the renting of the amphitheater and the viewing part, we'd be all about that. And Blair, where is Blair? She back? She's here. I have a hard time saying, but yeah, Blair would be all about it. And we know how to do that. Great. Got a lot of experience with it. We know what works and doesn't work. I say we, she knows what will work and won't work and stuff. So.
Sorry to drop this on you like this.
No, it's not that at all. I'm
Time is of
I'm
the
glad
Had a
you
few
figured
minutes
it out.
Yeah.
before practice and just left school, so.
I think it's a good thing to discuss. And
Yeah.
probably
Well, I'm
hasn't been brought
you're
up
probably
in a little
gonna
bit.
see me quite often in the next few months.
So I do have one more question for you.
This is the only thing that I want to get done.
What are you teaching?
Good question.
Oh.
Right now I'm in the RISE program. They're trying to get me to go that direction, but I have a degree in art and a degree in business, but just waiting for something to open up.
So you're the coach of the boys or girls?
Boys,
Boys soccer.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Chris Ray, Chris with the K.
Chris with the K, right? I like that.
Grew up on Cedar Street.
You have a card.
No, I don't have any cards.
Yes.
I
Gotta work on that.
I just got here. That's not funny. RAY.
Mhm. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate you coming by.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good
Good to see you.
All right, I'm off to practice.
See you, Chris.
So I think the question I would have about that, if we did do something where we amended the ordinance and allowed something like that, would we set the parameters on what can be the area? Or instead of like him coming in and saying, well, I'm going to do half the park roped off as my area, can we?
Well, as long as we comply with
parameters.
the state law, then this council can control the assets of the city and set the parameters any way you want to do it. And and you need to, well, don't have to tell anybody. We need to see some things that we could enforce and are practical and work. And we've got some experience. We don't have experience for this particular thing, but I will tell you that this is probably the fourth, if not the fifth time since I've been mayor that there's been people come around and asking about this. And we've never really been able to get the energy to do that. But that's for the council to decide how city assets are used and set down the rules to do it. Our John has got, can get us answers on the rules and the law.
Well, I know we discussed it with the Parks Board a couple of times,
I
just
was,
options.
I was wondering say if they did choose the Civic Center, could they have part of it outside in the area around the Civic Center? You have those tables and stuff. They have,
If you define that area, yes, it would have to be defined because there's no clear boundary of the civic center's area. But you could, if you define those areas outside, right now it's totally inside. If you,
I'm thinking, I know people want to be outside and stuff, but I was thinking it seemed like the reception and everything would be better inside the Civic Center. It would be trying to watch something. I'm taking to be on a projector screen.
they'd have to
Right.
Yeah, I think they're talking.
You'd have to have
Yeah.
a screen and the sound
There's
and
the-
stuff, But I was thinking if it party was outside, if you sprung up lights and had some tables out there, if you had a designated area there, later. It seems like the only other thing to me, it seems like
I mean,
we just have one meeting between now and then. It's pretty rushed.
we've got a
rushed.
couple of special calls too.
Yeah.
But the other thing is we actually, I mean, you'll define the area. If you allow it, one way or the other, you're gonna find the area. If you want them to come out, be able to come outside with alcohol, you're gonna have to define that area, because once they step past it, Mike's gonna be the catcher.
Before
I think
when
they
we,
have to have a designated cup too.
Huh?
I went to the KLC meeting, the conference they had in class.
You talking about EDC? The entertainment districts require that, yes. I
Yeah,
don't know if they do that, if these big cup, but I don't know that it has to be a specific cup for that, for this type of operation. If it was an entertainment district, yes.
the ones I've been to had a specific cut too. And we had talked at one time of the Civic Center, and it was the desire to have it at Memorial Park. Not this event, is another one. And then you'd have a separate event, and that was less desirable for the idea. But that's something we already do, so that's something that would be very possibly easy to do. So I don't know how we best proceed with this.
To me, the aesthetics would look very good in the park, but but what concerns me is how we would keep it roped off or petitioned off when if you have something on screen blaring and you have other people who use the park that are not part of that.
Right.
I'm not saying
Right.
I'm against it. I'm just saying that.
Well-
They just wouldn't use it that night.
Well,
Well, I mean-
Like the Mayor Brady, like people know what's going on in Mayor Brady, it's gonna be loud and crowded down there, so.
well, I think I heard Coach say he's interested with it, beer or not. But if we can figure out a way to do the beer garden, and you're right. I mean, we got a family, we got kids down there that are below drinking age. Then you're going to be having a sequestered area, and so you have a desire to have a festive environment, all inclusive, and it's a challenge. And I don't know how best we can approach this. I guess Blair's going to talk with Coach some more and try to come up with an idea. And we've got some special calls, and we can work on it when we learn more about what he needs to do. But I think we need to get him an answer pretty darn quick. See what his vision is. So anyway, it's exciting.
Might try it 1 year without beer and see how it goes, and then the next year reconsider that part.
That's only World Cup.
Oh, I thought it was
Every
like.
4 years.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want high
I don't
school.
know nothing, I don't know nothing about soccer. I know it's
I'm proud of you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
That's just the brain of just this information I have. It's World Cup's every 4 years.
Well, can we rewind the tape?
Somebody did a Paducah beer garden during barbecue on the river. I mean, I can recall that Marshall County soccer clubs ran beer gardens down there.
Right.
I mean, so some of those people already have experience doing that.
Mm. Yeah. So,
Sorry, I will take back my suggestion since it will be 4 years.
Well,
I'm just
the Civic, what's the capacity of the Civic Center, main hall?
327.
Okay,
I
so that's a pretty good crowd even in the Civic Center if you had to do it inside the Civic Center.
Well,
I know what would be better. I think they'd like to have it outside, but you can hold a number of people in the Civic Center as well.
Because them, parties at soccer places.
Oh,
Rowdy.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it,
I'm not
Yeah.
saying bad rowdy.
Yeah.
rowdy.
like our sound at the church services, I mean, it wasn't easy to accomplish.
No,
That.
you have to have this
Somebody
special
did
stuff.
mention this. I don't know this. We didn't say it all, but there's multiple games
They have
over
bad
here in
attitude.
a month or so in the US.
Mine-
I played 3 times probably.
Right.
This is just the first initial game that the United States has.
Is that the only time that he was talking about doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my biggest concern is internet. We don't have a way to show it. The internet is not of good quality down there.
Really?
In the park.
That's my biggest concern.
Well,
But
that's a
is
big
there a
one.
way, like, I know in some cases they went down and boosted up the internet in an area. at the park.
We need a lucrative contract for either AT&T or Verizon to show the thing. When they find out they don't have a network capable, maybe they would help us out as a community and answer a phone from the government.
Amen.
It is terrible on Fifth Avenue, almost as bad as out in front of Love's, almost.
Mike,
It counts as terrible anyway.
Yes.
That's
Your
also
house,
the same
too.
weekend as the pickleball tournament,
Ooh.
Yes.
which is fun.
And Kids Art in the Park was just the next day.
No.
Saturday.
When is the pickleball tournament in relation to this?
It's that weekend.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
What is that
Uh,
group
This is
that
not a big deal.
provides the internet, can actually do the portable internet setups? They use them in emergency management.
Called Starlink.
Huh?
Starlink.
Let me call Elon.
Well, this is actually, they bring a box that's hooked up. You know what I'm talking about?
No, there's,
There's a company that does that. They do it
Yeah.
for murder, but they also can, I think you can get those for events like that.
Yeah.
But again,
Or, well, I
I'm
don't know.
throwing stuff out there.
Elon will do that in the case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Elon's company. I don't know which one. One of them.
But no matter what, whether we can get it for this event or not, we need to fix the ordinance.
Right.
That if this body decides they want to allow,
It's regulation.
if this body, we need to fix that ordinance and have that, if that's something that
That's,
this body wants to allow down there,
Decide
we
what
need
we
to
want.
have it fixed, so the next person that does come up here and want to do this is there. It's not something-
that's what I was telling the coach. It's like I
it's
said,
not
this
some-
is like
it's
the
not
fifth go
something that
around.
We need to, well, we're gonna try to do it real quick for him just because he's a soccer coach. No, we need to have it in
Right.
place.
Yeah.
Well, all you gotta do is set the regulation. And that's all you gotta do.
Okay. Well,
Because it's not by ordinance, by regulation.
Okay.
Okay.
well,
Hey, Blair, have you given any thought to this?
I mean, I think there's always a question at immigration if there's alcohol.
And, we've got some examples of,
There's not already alcohol in the park.
Right.
well, we got some examples near us of some bluegrass playing and the different events. And that's exactly what I was telling. This is not, we all know that. We all know this is not the first time. And we should get an answer for it so we'll know what to do moving forward. And he's got a dang fine idea. If we had it delineated and addressed, this is how we were going to handle it. We could give him a sure answer instead of talking about special calls and trying to meet a deadline. So you're exactly right.
I thought we had put it in there when we made the original, but we didn't. I just thought we did.
No. It's just a regulation that we've had, but they never allowed it. They didn't used to allow it at the civic center. That changed.
Yeah,
That
was
changed.
the one
that
thing.
changed.
Yes. We done something, but I thought we had just, when we first put, even by the drink, I thought we allowed it. But like I said, I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong.
Well, everybody ruminate on it and see what you think. Has anybody got any parting comments? Blair's going to look into it some more.
And
And
just, like I said, just not just for this, or it could be for anything. That way, if somebody does come up here and if we either allow it or we don't allow it. One or the other.
and if we do allow it, under what conditions? And I'm hearing that we might be okay with it if we knew under what conditions. That's what I think I'm hearing. But we haven't got those conditions really delineated to say yes or no.
Yes, we
And-
all, everybody brings
and
up
so
very good-
we're-
everybody brings up good points.
Where I struggle in this, where I struggle in this is when we think about Memorial Park, we think of golf carts and families and that sort of thing. And I understand drinking and having a good time with friends and that, but getting those commingled in that given acreage is something I can't hardly get my brain wrapped around. And I've been to some events from long ago, and I'm not going to name the names of the communities. I'll probably forget them anyway, but they seem to be done kind of weird because of, and they were the two I'm thinking about are in Kentucky, and you've always got to delineate that area. So
I get it.
if you did it off season, you could delineate the area to be the fence of the splash park. That'd be awesome. But in June, the splash park's going to be running, and the kids are going to be playing in there, and you're not going to be sitting amongst them drinking beer.
Yeah.
But you just casual observer doesn't know it's a splash park when it's off, and I think that's the beer area. But anyway, I don't know. If anybody would just, I don't know.
I just think some time. I mean, if we have to have special calls, I don't think we need to make a decision tonight. I'd like to
No.
mull it over.
No, I think
No.
mull it over, but we don't need to.
No, we'd like to mull it forever. No.
So,
But I think if we have a special call meeting between now and the next meeting, that would be a good time because he's on a tight schedule
Yes.
to do all of this. if,
Well, I was talking about the budget workshops,
Yeah,
which are gonna
yeah.
start in May, latter part of May, so we'll have a meeting.
well, see,
between-
it's June the 12th though. He
It's
wouldn't,
getting kind of late.
I know, it's getting late, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's really even starting it, it's sort of late, to be honest.
Yeah, because even if you guys give him the approval, he's got to hustle to get the temporary license.
And that's probably why he ran in here like he did, because he knows his deadline.
Like you said, he's been here 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
4 weeks tops.
Yeah.
Does he realize that about the temporary license stuff and all that? Because it is expensive. I don't even know.
No, it's
But
not
he
terrible.
knows about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's-
That's probably why he's talking about maybe partnering with someone.
Sure.
Well, let's suggest this. Blair and John put together some information for him. Talk to him about how we get temporary license, and say we can do that indoors at the Civic Center for now, and reaffirm. And I think he's interested in having it even without the alcohol, but for a World Cup celebration, I think it is more fitting. It would probably be a lot more successful number wise if we can figure out what to do it, and send him that communication immediately, and let's kind of try to see if we can get some information out to council members within middle of next week, and see if there's any ideas that we could ruminate and see if it calls for a special call. Is that okay? Does that sound right?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Any more visitors for the council? Dr. Perez, you got something on your mind you want to talk? Okay.
You didn't have nothing better to do?
Different class.
Which class?
Oh, man.
Which class?
Political science.
Okay.
Good to have you.
Good to have you, buddy.
Bring science to the chaos. We're all for that. Okay. Glenda, you want to talk about some new reports that you've provided? Put you on the spot here a little bit. We talked about it some.
Exciting.
About what?
The new format of the reports,
The Edmonds.
the Edmonds report.
Oh,
I will.
Oh, well, I was
I'll
gonna
I'll
say
put her
that.
on spot here, but let me tell you, there's been, for those who haven't lived through the implementation of a new computer system, it's a heck of a lot of work, and it will impact everything that this business office does. Edwin's over here grinning because I know he lives by the computer all the time, and when there's a glitch or a change, it can have big impacts. And so, the city hall staff, I don't know that I've got a total number of hours and meetings and the work and the decisions and stuff. So this is a work in progress.
yes.
And I encourage Glenda to let you get a glimpse of what it's going to be. I know I signed checks today, and the checks had been printed for the first time with Edmonds, and they gave the document that went with the check was very good as far as saying this is how the ledger entry went, and it was able to print that out. So it helped that streamline that affair. And Carrie was a little delayed from last week, but we got them today. We usually get them in the middle of the week.
Right.
But I think that she was pretty happy with it,
Oh, yeah.
and it printed out good. So Glenda's got a report, and there's some problems with that report, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
The one that I gave you, the one I sent out.
Yes. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's so pretty. I love it.
Right. It's a work in progress for sure. I'm working with Edmonds on how we want things to look. And, but during our management meeting this morning, Blair asked me a question. She goes, that's not how much is budgeted for that account. And I got to looking. All of the budgeted numbers are last year's. They're not the current year.
We all
So they're
noticed that,
wrong.
didn't we? We all.
Did y'all all pick up on that? Okay. And then the variance number, John, we were looking at that this morning also, and I'm going to tell her to change that because I want it current year to date with the total budget so that we can see how much we have remaining for that account. So changes. So that just know that this is not. Now, the amount that says current year to date balance is correct. So there we go. We've got one thing. But I think it's going to look really nice. There are lots of graphs, charts. I do like that look, having a dashboard, and we will be having more of that. So we did go live on 4/1.
That's a bad date to go live.
April 1st. I know, really. And we've just been having lots of phone calls to Edmonds. So, but I mean, we're just going to learn one bite at a time, and that's just how we have to do it. because when we started live, I was like, okay, I don't even know how to make an entry. So hello, let's start with the basics. Help me here. And I couldn't find any of my reports. But we did go live with finance and payroll. So we managed, after 7 hours of me, Carrie, and Jordan sitting with them on the phone, and we got payroll out. I'm sure it'll go smoother next time. But it's all going to be,
And we can
it's
take
going to be
credit card
good.
Payments on most anything now.
Yeah.
Right.
Where
Everything.
before we couldn't, we could only take it on water bills. Now we can take it on most anything.
I had a.
Well, we're not live with property tax yet or utilities. That's coming.
So I took joy in calling a couple of individuals who have been really disgruntled through the years about our inability to do so, and I introduced them to the new, and it was pretty nice.
Good.
I'm pretty happy.
So
about
like if they rent a pavilion or something, or
Yes,
correct.
Parks and Rec.
I
is
think
live.
that
Parks and Rec.
a lot of companies, when they want to rent the civic center,
Mhm. Yeah.
the companies don't cut checks anymore, folks.
No.
They give you digits.
Yeah.
wow.
So
That's awesome.
I was gonna talk about this in my report, but when you go on the website and you click the online portal, you have to create an account. So you can just, you're not gonna do anything, you can just go on and create an account if you want to now, so that you have it. But you just click the online portal and you can reserve your pavilions, and you can also reserve the civic center online.
Yeah, Blair has worked a lot with the Parks and Rec part.
and there's a calendar tool,
Yes.
Mhm.
which is
Yeah, and Allison has worked a lot on that.
so those who want to self-serve, they can do that, and those who want to talk to friendly Allison, they can get on the
And they
phone.
can do that.
Either way.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's just going to take time.
Anything else?
You want me to just go on?
Sure.
Okay.
Let her rip. You got
So the ethics board met on 310 and they found no conflicts of interest with anyone. So that's a good thing. And then on 4/1, there we go again, April 1st. Nita, Ralph, Ashley, and I, and Kathy Canup, who is on the ethics board, we met for that initial meeting about becoming a certified city of ethics. So we went completely through all of our ordinance, and I did send that to you. So Michael Simon with KLC has sent me a revised. I need to send that to you too to look at. And so he wants us to look at that and have any comments we have or whatever. And then after we get all of that completed, then it will be the meeting where it'll be all of the council. It's going to have to be the Board of Adjustments, the zoning board, the mayor, John. Ashley will all
So-
have to be at that training.
And we'll be measured in what I say here. But when KLC came out the program, enthusiastically we got in line and we were told to wait. So I don't know how far up toward the implementation of this front end we are. Did they mention that in the meeting?
Well, as soon as we do
The
the
training.
approve the ordinance
Yeah,
changes, then we have the training
Yeah.
and we will be a certified city of ethics.
So is anybody ahead of us in line, I guess was more my question.
Oh, I
We're
don't
pretty
know.
early on the adoption of the idea, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
discuss that.
All right.
Okay.
no. So,
All right. Well, that's good news.
Anyway, that is good. I know. And then the CD that we have at Lake Kim, I know I gave you a report there. It did roll. I checked interest rates and Lake Kim had the best one. So I just let it roll. So it rolled at an APR of 3.64 with an annual percentage yield of 3.7. So that is down. I think it was maybe 4.1. I meant to look, but we all know interest rates have dropped, but they were still quite a bit higher than anyone else.
Is that pretty close to the interest we get on our, like just our other money?
On our other accounts right now, we are, I'm sorry, I have forgotten, but
I think it's pretty close.
it is pretty close. We might be at 3.75. I'm not sure.
I don't remember the original.
I should have looked
I
that up.
don't remember the
Sorry.
original deviation or change when it was first implemented, but It'll drift from period to period.
I think that's all I have.
Okay. Any old business?
Where's the qualification we're coming up?
Okay. Well, this is new business for this bunch. So old business for John. So Ashley or John, who's gonna introduce these next three things that we're gonna take into consideration here?
Either one, I can read them and then we can discuss.
I mean,
Well-
in summary, before we get into reading them, what's going on here?
Okay, all right. We're in the process of going back and getting our codification cleaned up. We have not been codified in the 21 years that I've been here. We've had ordinances that go into a file or a book, and that's all, but they haven't been codified in years. So one of the things we've been working on, and finally have gotten to the point where we're ready to go and submit, and have submitted to American Legal, is to get basically our code of ordinances and a codification or a code book. And it'll be set up so that eventually we will actually be able to go and have it linked online, so you can actually go through our ordinances online through our website. Right now it's not there, and I don't want it to get there yet until we clean it up some. So this is part of what we're doing, is we're trying to clean up the ordinances that we've had online and are either outdated or no longer in use. Some of those have to do with in our changes, and some of these land usage and some of that stuff has all been being handled now by zoning or nuisance abatements, which we're using, and or the Marshall County building inspection or building codes that are being handled there. And we're not doing a lot of that, or it's all been incorporated into these other ordinances that are updated. The other thing is a whole section in there is Kentucky Revised Statutes. And I don't know why in the world we want to have repeating Kentucky Revised Statutes. They're already published by the state. They're enforced by the courts. So it doesn't make any sense for us to have that in our ordinance book. We didn't initiate them, but we do enforce them through Mike and his officers. So there's no reason for us to repeat that. It's in Kentucky Revised Statutes. So that's one of the things we're looking at, repealing these ordinances because they no longer really apply to the city. They're so far outdated, it's not even, they refer to the zoning ordinance in here as 93-04. We repealed that in 2017. So we need to repeal it in total, these ordinances in total, and then replace them with our current stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're cleaning it up so that it's not going to have conflicting language. That pretty well sum it up?
Yes. And we thought it would be better to go through with chapters and kind of bigger chunks, because it's not to say that there aren't some other edits that need to be made, but if we can keep from having to send all of this information that you all were sent to the codification company, it just makes sense not to include it if we're going to repeal it. So that's kind of where we wanted to start. We thought that would be the easiest place to start in the process.
Chapter 113 deals with amusements. That's handled by zoning now. Otherwise, we didn't do Marshall Yards correct.
Oh, no.
And we haven't but we changed it in 17. Just relax. 150 through 155. These are land usage type ordinances. And again, building inspections are done through the county. Building permits are done through the county. We do not use property maintenance codes anymore. Zoning and floodplain are in this one. However, these are going to refer back to the original ones back at the dawn of Calvert City or somewhere back in there. And then what was the other one? The criminal penal code being chapters 130 through 139, which we don't need. Mike's got a KRS and he didn't need this. So it's just a waste of our time fooling with this. And we don't want to change this every time the state makes a change in the penal code. So those are the issues that we're running into. Our nuisance abatement handles property maintenance is we want to handle it today, the way you guys have set it up to be handled. And then zoning and everything takes care of the rest of that. So, or the flood damage ordinance, those all take those into consideration. So I'll shut up and let you all ask questions. We'll move forward with the readings if you wish.
Everybody ready? Okay, all right.
So I need a motion and a second on,
Oh, okay. Yep. Motion and a second to introduce which one? I don't have a copy.
2026-01 first. Okay.
Second.
Did you second, Nita?
Okay, all in favor of introducing it?
Aye.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm following proper rule of order, but okay, I
Yep,
found them. Let's go.
Sounds good.
Okay, ordinance number 2026-01, an ordinance repealing chapter 113 of the Calvert City Code of Ordinances relating to amusements. Whereas the city council of the city of Calvert City has determined that the city's amusement ordinances in chapter 113 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances are outdated or otherwise covered under other ordinances and therefore are no longer necessary. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of Calvert City, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that chapter 113 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances is hereby repealed in its entirety.
Okay. Linda?
Okay. Councilwoman Shelton,
Yes.
Councilman Howard,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hale,
Yes.
Councilman Rao is absent, Councilman Brown,
Yes.
and Councilman Stokes.
Yes.
Okay. So now then, it'll be 2026-02.
Take a motion to introduce 26-02.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All right.
Ordinance number 2026-02, an ordinance repealing chapters 130 to 139 of the Calvert City Code of Ordinances relating to criminal offenses. Whereas the city council of the city of Calvert City has determined that the city's criminal offense ordinances in chapters 130 to 139 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances are outdated or otherwise covered under the Kentucky Revised Statutes, including Title 50, commonly referred to as Kentucky Penal Code, and therefore are not necessary to include in the city's ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of Calvert City, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that chapters 130 to 139 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances are hereby repealed in their entirety.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Councilwoman Shelton,
Yes.
Councilman Howard,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hale,
Yes.
Councilman Rao is absent, Councilman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Stokes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have 2026-03.
Motion to introduce
I'll make a motion.
and a second.
I'll second.
All right.
Ordinance number 2026-03, an ordinance repealing chapters 155 through, or 150 through 155 of the Calvert City Code of Ordinances relating to land usage. Whereas the city council of the city of Calvert City has determined that the city's land usage ordinances in chapters 150 to 155 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances are outdated, inaccurate, or otherwise covered under other codes, such as the Kentucky Building Code, Kentucky Residential Code, or Calvert City zoning ordinances, and therefore are not necessary to include in the city's ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of Calvert City, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that chapters 150 to 155 of the city of Calvert City Code of Ordinances are hereby repealed in their entirety.
Okay. Councilwoman Shelton,
Yes.
Councilman Howard,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hale,
Yes.
Councilman Rao is absent, Councilman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Stokes.
Yes.
They all passed for the first reading.
Okay.
Thank you.
Departmental reports.
I don't know which place to bring this up, but there's been some discussion online about the opioid abatement money.
Okay, I was going to come back around and ask.
Okay,
about
then
that.
I'll just hush. That'd be
Well,
great.
you know, since you brought it up, let's go.
Well, y'all want to? I think we should do something with the money.
Okay.
We can't do a lot with $10,000. $100,000. I'm sorry, no, it's at $10,000. I'm right about that. What I mean is we can't hire a counselor. We can't do a lot of things like that. But I talked to Daniel Prather today.
Well, let me come back.
Okay.
That money's been coming to us from a much larger issue on the national stage. and it's very regulated on what you can or cannot do with it. And we provided council with information about how the money came to be here, and Glenda's been making quarterly reports on it. And so the intention of that settlement money is very well delineated in what the grants are. Now, the city departments, we carry Narcan. The fire chief had to go through some hoops, but he got us approved and our EMT first responders to carry Narcan quite some time ago. I hope I don't misspeak, but we had a permission before some of the rest of the council did. And I love this. Again, Calvert City, and we followed that. So those expenses are fairly trim. When the police go through training and when the fire department EMTs go through training, then that's introduced how to do those things. And those costs have been built into our city budget for quite a while. Now, they could be covered by this grant if I understand the situation carefully. We don't have a health department. We don't have hospital. We don't have personnel who do this sort of thing. So it's kind of awkward for small town, which leads to what Nita's wanting to talk about and what we need to talk about now that the money is at a level that we can think about some options. This council needs to know about it instead of it just disappearing into oblivion on the budget, right?
And I feel like, I think you've handled it fine. That's not a problem. And it's not a problem. I think that it was just brought up in a manner that might not have been the best, but sometimes good comes out of that. And I talked to Danielle Prather today, and she is
it would be coming up in the budgetary talk when we get to here. I mean, we're getting ready to go into workshop, so it would be coming up.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're right.
I talked to Danielle Prather today, and she's with the Marshall County Health Department, and we could partner with them on some of the things that are available in those guidelines. They might, when I talked to her today, I said, I am not speaking to you other than a council member with ideas and wanting to know, some information. These are just possibilities of things that we could do. I know that we could maybe have a drug take back day, and the health department would help us with that. Right now, there is only one. There are two that they're having, but they have them in Benton, and the sheriff's department comes and gets the drugs and disposes of them.
They do that here.
We do that annually here.
We do that annually here.
Have done for a number of years
Yeah.
with our recycling day.
At
I did-
the fall cleanup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually I'm out of town when we do that, but that's it. Another thing would be that we could have public meetings that have education about opioids and Narcan. And one of the things that when I talked to her today that was surprising to me was that, the health department does get the Narcan free from the state, but the pharmacy costs are between $40 up to $200. And she was telling me about a lady who had called the health department to get it today because her doctor prescribed that because she was terminally ill. There was medication that she was taking, but she could overdose on it. And evidently they wanted that remedy there. And her insurance didn't pay it. It was going to cost her $200 to get it. So there's a lot of education and stuff that we don't really think about, that it's not just somebody that we might consider, quotation marks, a druggie. There's also, I never thought about a doctor prescribing it for a patient, but they do. And one of the other suggestions in those guidelines, and I'm just throwing these out here for us to think about that we could do, that we might do training I know you do it for the fire department, and I know you do it for the police department, but you might consider training all the city employees and even the city officials in the administering it and knowing how to do that. And she said she would even come and talk to us at some point in time to give us some ideas and some different things that we might be able to do. And I know I talked to Mike today about the DARE program. We could do that, and that would give him either lower his budget by $1,500 or give him $1,500 extra to spend in his budget if we did that. There's also means in those guidelines that for media that we could purchase brochures, print brochures. We could put, you know, if we had something in the paper, and I think it would even be nice to have a big, maybe citywide meeting that we could have that would bring some of this information out. And, you know, I don't know what the best thing to do.
Well, we
with
haven't
is.
picked it up as business, and all these are great ideas, and a lot of them for a town our size. When you read through the grant programs and the kind of technically the reporting we've had to do, it just hasn't been enough activation energy. I think there is now. So I'm going to ask council, how would you like to ferret out the ideas to get something moving?
I got two more things.
Okay.
There was a kiosk that had the Narcon and the other, there's another one, a new one out too. And they came and whoever they got it from came and got that kiosk and took it somewhere else.
Right.
The kiosks themselves are not that expensive. You know, probably $500 will be the top end. I'm talking about one that looks like a newspaper dispenser type thing. You don't have to go, you know, to the nth degree in it. That may be considering setting maybe 5 of those around different locations in the city. And the last thing, which is a scary thing to me, but I know we deal with them in the sewer system, but that the only place that there is a sharps disposal is in Callaway County, and then there's some other system in Graves County. But if we had, you can get, you know, she would help us get them, but dispensers for those. And I was thinking about just offhand, maybe if you could have it down at the fire training center or somewhere that was sort of out of the way, but it would, you know, you don't really want it out there like you're promoting it, but that might be a really good thing to consider having, because I've heard them talk about different, am I right about things like that showing up, throwing up in the sewer, needles and sharps and stuff. So just a thought. Those are and I'm through now.
Okay. Well, one of the most important things for me is changing the idea that we have in the public of what creates a problem and why we need Narcan. And I've encountered my fellow Marshall Countyans and talked to them many times. You know, you think, well, these are for, I think you used, well, druggie. And we do care about that. For me, a public information campaign should be very much in light of, if you're raising kids, if you have grandkids around, and you know, not bad kids and maybe not particularly angels, you know, it's out there. Recreational, unintended consequences. Somebody get fentanyl in their system, and there, you know, look, there's consequences for that. People should get in trouble for that. Death shouldn't be part of them. And Narcan is pretty readily available. And we need to raise public awareness of that and take away some of the stigma of that. I mean that truthfully. I don't know about the Sharps idea is probably one that I hadn't even stopped to think about. I believe that there are Sharps locations in public here, but I couldn't tell you what it is because I don't use them.
She told me that the only one they had was in Callaway County and one service like in Mayfield.
Really? And just public? Okay.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I never thought of it in my life, but that's what.
But, you know, the presence of Narcan adjacent to your, I know in the workplace that you'll see that available right there next to the first aid cabinet. And anytime that a group goes through CPR, AED, and I got to tell you, mine's current, keep it current. The last 4 or 5 years I've been through it, that training has been part of that. And I did find out that we're going to have to add it to the city's training because I had assumed it was there and it may not be. So we'll make sure it's there. But again, that's the normal functioning of a city and a great workplace. So that to me doesn't really rise to the level of what the grant intentions to be. I mean, if we were poor and couldn't afford that, if you had communities that couldn't do that extra bit, then fine. But this is, I think that, I think we need to get a group of people before budget time and get the best of these ideas and figure out what we want to support.
And she deals with that.
Right.
She would be a good resource.
And we, you know, my initial response is just to here, health department, y'all know what the needs are. Handle it, but we can't do that because we're tied to that grant money. So, you know, you're going to be co-sponsoring, you're going to have to work together, and it's hard to do that at $2,000, $3,000 a time. So now we've got something, so we can move that forward. And it's an important thing. We have misunderstanding. you know, there's all kinds of different ways people get in trouble, and we've lost people in our community, young people, a little bit older people, but it's a situation. I don't know what the latest numbers on whether it's getting better or not. It got up to a large amount a couple years ago, and I don't know what the numbers are trending now. I think they're trending down a bit, but yeah, it's important, and we've got a little money to do something. And you guys being elected representatives, you need to know what it is we're doing and influence that. So it's not, hey, listen, it's not just up here, hey, you guys do something, because we could. I mean, actually, we couldn't. To take the cost of what the city currently does and pull it out and say, hey, we're moving that to the city budget. That's not what we need to do with this, in my opinion. It needs to be something different than just our normal mission. Okay. And those are great ideas. And I think that they should be taken and thought about, and you guys ought to weigh in on it. And I don't know whether we do a committee or whether we do, which is not the best thing necessarily, but I think it come budget time, we got to make those decisions and decide how to move that forward.
Does the city get the same amount every year, and what is the?
Oh, wow.
No, it's been different amounts. It's been different amounts.
So this is settlement money paid by the opium companies and it's deposited in random amounts over the last 4 years. And we're up to, I guess, now about $10,000.
Yeah, 97.8064 to be exact,
I'll call
because
it
I
10.
have to keep up with that.
And then that will continue on for maybe another 10 years, right? The random.
Yes, I think it was 18 years total.
So
Goes
there's
up
no
to
timetable on when you
2039.
have to spend it, but there is restrictions on how you spend it.
I might have missed this. Do we have any Narcan dispensers in the city?
There was one at the Presbyterian Church.
They
forever.
pick it up. They picked that one up.
It wasn't there very long.
Okay.
But I
The
don't
one-
know who did
They
that.
need it somewhere else.
I don't know how.
We've had a free Narcan giveaway day.
Repeat the amount, then that's the total amount.
Right now, we have $9,780.64.
Thanks for sending
You
all
know,
that
we
out.
do not have, I mean, the
Well-
county gets a lot more than we do. We don't have a Walmart. We don't have a Kroger. We don't have, we don't have these companies within our city limits for us to get that money.
But
I
when
said, thanks for doing the work that you did on that.
The thing about it is having the things that we've had, it's not saying we didn't have anything. You know, I appreciate all the efforts that we've done so far to do this.
And
It's
I
just saying
agree
that we can do more.
that I would like to use, and I don't know if we have to be involved or if we have a say in how it's spent, but I would like, my request would be that the council at least have some kind of participation in the approval process.
Well, I think you got to have participation. You
good.
need knowledge of what happened to it.
And I do agree that instead of just funding something that we're already doing, using this for something additional, something new, or something additional
And
beyond
again,
what
she
we do
said
now.
she'd be glad to come talk to her. I'm sure if anybody wanted to call her at the health department, you could. And it's Danielle Prather.
It would be good to have an expert or someone that deals with that, because we're not experts in that realm by any means. So
Yeah. I started to ask our presenter last week or last month about that issue, and decided not to because I hadn't prepped it. Okay. All right. Fine ideas. How are we going to bring it home? How's something going to happen? We got some people want to volunteer to be on a committee on that. Can make a recommendation for budget workshop. Nita, you want to be on the committee? Okay. Who else? Or y'all want to work it as a whole group? Ralph?
I'll work with Nita.
Okay.
And I'll participate. And again, I think it needs to be outside or no. That's
Do you
the
do
key for
tonight?
me.
Yeah, I think do we all kind of want to do it or not?
Okay.
If you understand, when you do, you're going to be in a public meeting again. We're going to be doing the
don't need more than
public notices, and
Got it.
special call
Got it.
meetings and all that.
I see
mean,
what you're saying.
you can do that, but
No,
just
I
be
see what
aware
you're
of it.
saying.
But we can still discuss it when it comes.
Y'all, you three partner it and see and bring it.
Okay.
Mine just
Okay
some
to have
ideas.
three.
I mean, I like the
Just not
idea
four.
of, I mean, just
You
me
like three?
personally, I like the idea of it.
That'd be
You know, let's go to Narcan
Yeah.
dispensary. I mean,
Okay.
I think it is I know some other places that do it and they empty it.
Yeah.
days.
I think
Okay.
Floyd said that one that they had no longer than they had it. They'd had it refilled maybe twice, I think.
How many days are we giving away at the city level? You said we'd had some giveaway days.
We've done it twice.
How'd we do it?
At the Civic Center, the health department just set up a table and handed it out. The library's done it a couple of times too.
Okay. So, all right. So I do want to check on understanding. I mean, everybody agrees that we're not going to let that just dissolve in the normal city budget, right?
Oh, well, it can't.
Well,
No,
no. It can. It can. We pay for certain things that would qualify under grant funds.
Well, I mean, I'll have to report whatever we
Right.
spend it on.
So
I have
we
to
could
report. So
we
it will
do
have to
things
go
out
for
of the city
something.
budget which would
Yeah.
qualify for grant. And when I said let it dissolve, that's not letting it disappear.
Okay, sorry.
That's not what I mean. But I don't think the intention of the program was to help us financing our ongoing operations of things that we normally do anyway.
No.
That's what I meant. I'll be better.
Spending money we haven't spent.
Right.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, there's mental health uses for that also, not just
yes.
opioid.
There is a need, one that we are still doing. Chief, how are you handling AEDs right now?
We have one that we rotate through shifts.
So we have one AED. We don't have every police officer, not every car is equipped with AED. So we've got one per shift available. And if I think in the fine print of that grant, we spotted that you could fund AED purchases too. And
Nice to have at least one more.
so you got Narcan and AED, first response, quick response. And that may be something to consider for the committee as well. And anyway, that's something that budgetarily wise, we should give strong consideration to anyway. Did you get all those ideas?
Yep.
She's over here just writing like crazy,
Go back and watch it.
but she'll watch it later.
And I will watch it too.
I can send you a text.
Departmental reports. Chief Davis, you're closest to the door. You got to get up and talk in the mic, man.
First of all, I'd like to apologize for not being able to be here, but
Thank y'all for
I've had some issues myself going on with my brother and my mom. Been spending a lot of time at the doctor's offices. So hopefully that's fixed now.
That's
That
good
being
news.
said, we've been pretty busy. We've helped Possum Trot 3 times, I think. They've helped us on the old Coleman Hawkins house that burnt. And we've had some wrecks. I'm going to mention one of my new firemen, Tyler Ross. He got to, and this is just my terminology, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but he got to cut somebody out the other day. And to be honest, it thrilled him to death. Luckily, he wasn't hurt bad enough, but he had to pop the door, which that was a good thing for him to do. It wasn't a dire emergency, but it gave him some experience.
That's what we train for.
What to do if it did become a extreme, what we call signal 9 situation. So he couldn't call me quick enough to tell me that. So I'm very proud of him. He's coming a long way. I've got some good young people coming.
Which tools did he use?
Pardon me?
Which tools did he utilize? The battery,
spreaders.
the battery operated?
He used them off of 5.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised he
So the difference is there's been a technology change in fire equipment. So the battery operated ones are, and 5 still have the hydraulic ones. Right?
correct.
Okay.
You gotta throw a switch and then hit the pump. They work off of the transmission of the truck.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Just a little bit of budget items here. I talked with Gene. I'm going to talk with John some more. We are possibly going to get rid of a couple of trucks, older trucks, and try to find us a good used one. I've talked with the person that does our repair work, and one of them is basically it would cost us more to fix it than it's worth. So I mean, we could spend a bunch of money, but we're still gonna have a very, very old truck. I think we need to get shut of it while we can and get what we can get out of it and get us something more reliable. So that will be coming to you in budget. Back to the personnel, everybody that we have is almost certified with their initial 115 hours. So that will be a big blessing. I reckon that's all I've got. Unless you have questions.
Question? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
What you got, Chief Cannon? Well, I'm gonna mention that now. The chief's up here, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't really have a whole lot to report. We've been working with the fire department as well as far as helping them with traffic control and stuff like that for the structure fire, and they've been assisting us with the car accidents and other things like that. It's been a pleasure. It's been some really good teamwork, you know. Thank you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have no problem.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So right now I guess school's got like another month left. Then
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So
You're
Just Scott.
give me 2
Scott
more weeks.
and
Thank you.
Really Scott Scout.
and
That's
every
2 more weeks. I
senior.
appreciate it. But so everything right now is going smooth as far as police department size. We got one vacancy we're looking to fill, and hopefully we'll get it filled pretty soon. And right now, with that, things have been kind of just going on steady. So nothing crazy or anything like that's been going on. That's been all that I had to report. If you guys have anything, I'm right here.
Well, what I was talking about, we had a fire out in the Riverport area, and we had a train blocking the road. And of course, we have automatic mutual aid. So possum trap was coming from the other direction. I haven't seen the call report to know how it turned out. How did it turn out, Chief?
I was out of town.
Oh, okay. All right. So we had a blockage. We would have had a better response if we hadn't had a blockage at the Southern Cove. And there's an agreement, and we're going to revisit the agreement and make sure that the people at Southern Cove are aware of it.
First responders are needed. They're supposed to be able to break the train to let them through. I think that should be an agreement.
So-
Is it? But
It is. But
Yeah, we got to revisit that. So we had property damage and nobody hurt, thankfully, but that's not a good situation. And there have been some incidents out in the Riverport past that train line. So we got to get going on that. Again, I say get going like we've not done anything, but we got to reiterate that and make sure everybody's got contact phone numbers and all that jazz. Straighten out. Okay.
all right.
I've looked
That's all
at
I got. I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Appreciate it.
Dan, Bobby, who's going to do the honors on water?
Well, I guess I'll come up there. Dan said he don't have to work.
Dan's going to sit here and he's got your back.
Yeah.
Literally.
Not much really to report. We got, like on the daily operational side, we're, continuing to, fix the water leaks and fixing sewers still. It seems like a daily thing, finding water.
So is dry conditions like we have harder or worse? Harder or easier on lines? Don't know yet? Okay. I've always thought that when it gets dry that we have things settle maybe a little bit better.
It's more confusing when it's dry.
Yeah.
When you have wet spots.
Oh, you can see them. You can see them. Okay.
You're not always like,
some of them you can see real
if it's
well.
mine or not.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, we're continuing to do that. I know we have some ongoing projects going on still. We have some more water mains going in projects like on Tiffany Lane and Little Rock. We have those ongoing. We plan on hopefully getting 2 more sewer operators licensed next month. Hopefully we'll have some more operators. One other crucial thing we did do this week or last week was we simulated an emergency protocol on our water system. and both sides operated great. So if one goes out, we know the other one will supply the city with what we need, and vice versa.
So you actually pulled it off on the control system, right?
Okay. We actually shut the water off. We did. So yeah, everything was. I checked with the plants. I called them and had them monitor what they lost and stuff like that, and we monitored the city and everything. I mean, you had
That's exciting.
probably 40 seconds of a difference in pressure. And then that was the switch over.
Right.
But after that, everything came back up on both sides of the split. I was tickled to death. I was worried to death something was going to happen.
So this was a capability you got finished off about 6 months ago, and you went around to a routine test of it, and everything fired
Well,
off
we were
right.
never sure of the high service pump side if it was going to be able to sustain what we needed for the city and the plant.
Right.
Our one sections we knew, but we did the other one and I'm tickled to death.
So
It worked
yeah,
great.
Bobby's 4-hour startup on that high pressure side took what more like 12 hours, and so it's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
But, can't really think. I mean, that's really about it, and we're just daily operating.
Looking for a person.
Oh yeah, yes, and we put out that Ben, Glenn's been down for a while, so I've been shorthanded for a while. We're finally going to we put out for a new position.
Yeah.
for the workers.
Okay.
So we're looking for that.
Circulated in the city workforce. Now it's out. So gathering resumes.
How's it going?
I just talked to him yesterday, and they're
Okay.
other than that, any questions?
All right.
Thank you guys.
Who's gonna go? Brad, you, Brad. Brad knows he's next. There's nobody else in the room except Blair's hiding back there behind the thing. Blair gets by tonight for all the frantic getting us online properly.
All right.
She's got things.
Where do we start? Parks are growing.
I have to go do that. We should really got
So
to
we're trying
You're
to
not gonna start
stay
this
ahead
early
of that. We're trying to keep soccer painted and start on baseball fields and
Man.
working on the splash pad. Bob's been working hard on that.
Aren't you're lucky you got a break on the grass mowing.
Oh, yeah, well.
Okay.
At least it's not wet.
Yeah. No, but he has got the splash pad where it'll do a little.
Oh yeah.
now.
He gave me a report.
Finally got some figured
What
out.
is the proper term? Dancing? Is it dancing? It's dancing. The splash pad's dancing.
Can I put that in the minutes? We'll dance now.
Repairing several leaks. He had to replace a bunch of stuff last fall, and we've got several leaks in there. We'll have to go through and repair. So hopefully within the next, I'm going to say 2 weeks, we'll have it all open and ready to go.
For Memorial Day.
By Memorial Day. Yes.
By Memorial Day. Thank you very much for that
Yes, by
clarification.
Memorial Day. I'm not going to say.
I'll
next
answer
week,
that,
but
let's answer that right now so people will know.
Bye. Yes, thank you.
That's what we generally do, try to open it by Memorial Day and then run it through Labor Day at least, depending on the weather. Let's see, street department guys they're busy, of course, mowing also. We've been doing some ditching and rock stabilization in some areas. Got some areas out around Camelot we're fixing to start on. Some washing and tree clearing and odds and end things out there that need to be done. They finished paving the ballpark down there today, not today, Friday.
I saw that.
Yay.
Haven't
So it
inspected
turned
it yet.
out good.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah. We'll see after it rains. Make sure it's not gone, but yeah, it turned out good. We have, oh gosh, too many things going on at once. Of course, our new contractor started over on the mowing again, contract mowers for 62 airport and all that. which is the guys we had before, I guess last year before last, yeah. And, so
Fairway Lawn Cares.
Yeah, they're
got
doing
the
a great
contract
job.
this year.
Cemetery too.
It's Justin Weathers.
It looked really good. I
Yeah,
just-
Yeah,
they're doing a really good job.
he's back.
Uh,
He sharpened his pencil.
We've got those going. Oh gosh. Trying to think what else we have going.
That's a lot. Saying all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, just with daily, just trying to keep everything alive. We've had a lot of breakdowns. And like Tim says, I'm putting in for a grapple truck this year. Pick up brush and stuff around town. My old flatbed's 25 years old now, and I've got to do something with it.
It was
It's
bought
been in the shop for
used.
about the last month, and we finally got it back. My backhoe's been down, finally got it back, and then my skid steer went down. So I
Again,
had to take it back and get it. So it's in there right now.
You might be a little bit better on that stuff.
Have to start.
That's all I got to say.
You know, it's tough, man.
Yeah, I know how you are.
But overall, everything's going good. Did we get that? Did y'all get that advertised for my sanitation position? Okay.
goes in tomorrow's paper.
Yeah, we moved, Dakota Wilhelm moved up from the sanitation truck to the park department.
He was about to bust when I talked to him this week.
It's a good one. I'll miss it.
I think he'll do a great job over there. So we do have an open position that coming out in the paper this week, I suppose, for a truck guy. Yeah.
Anything else?
We just go over the projects that they have completed this year. Of course, the mobile generator is up and operational now. The bucket truck, the new bucket truck is operational. The phase 3 walking trail is complete. That's our multi-use trail is finally, they completed it, this year. Pickleball courts, paving in Doctors Park, Plant Cutoff Road. We are in progress right now. The Public Works equipment building we came in good on the bids. We have enough to do the building and concrete pad and possibly do the electrical as well. So Travis Construction got that one, and they begin as soon as we get the contracts ready. Bass Maintenance got the contract to move the vessels from Ashland down and install them on the pad at our training center.
They started.
They begin today, yes. They started today. We're putting together a bid packet on Sharkow Road. That'll go from Industrial Parkway out to probably around, we'll go as far as we got money to go. How about that? And let's see, we're going to rebid the light fixtures. There was a snafu. I'll take the responsibility on that one. There was a second snafu, and I found out today what that was. That's the reason we didn't get the bid the second time. But we're going to rebid that one.
That's light fixtures for
That's the Memorial Park parking lot and the crossover. Yeah.
That's the hazard that was brought to our attention about being a little bit on the dark side and
going up to the
well, yeah. So that one was on delay just for funding, getting up on that. That's pretty dark on that pathway. So that's it coming to fruition. And those fancy light fixtures are not cheap.
We're going to carry. They're going to ask to carry over the lighting upgrades for fields 1 and 2 this year. They're going to ask to carry those over for next year's budget. So we're working with them on that. Doing some the unisex bathroom or ADA bathroom down to tennis courts. Doing some research on it right now, trying to see if we can build it or buy a free prefab, less expensive. That's kind of the way we're looking at it right now. Let's see.
One other thing, also the rough spots around town is was supposed to have been patched last fall. We're still waiting on Murray paving. I spoke with them last week and they've got us still on their list. They're getting fired up. Like all paving companies are, and so hopefully they'll get in and get that stuff.
What do you think? Like on the list, what do you think that means?
I hope so. I hope so.
Before June 30th.
He couldn't tell me. All they told me was, we're bringing all of our guys back in now, and hopefully we can get to you quick. So,
Is that the bid? June 30th.
Ain't good, but June 30th, we're gonna redo it. When he set one up and he let's get bid the last fall and they don't do it before June 30th, it's time to look for somebody to look again. But I know they'll do it. They'll get it done before the 30th. I have no doubt of that. Murray Paving is a good company. So
It's all right. It's a good update. Thanks.
Thanks, appreciate it, buddy.
That's great.
All right. Kevin, you got anything?
Like I need to go.
Blair.
Oh, I was gonna blow right by you, Blair.
We're gonna have to lower.
Now listen, I have this problem all the time. I look around the room and Blair's over here. I don't know.
I think she slides down in the chair.
Yeah.
Sleep while ago. When Brad was talking, she was taking a nap.
So on the
I
verge of
tried
that.
to, but he kept talking.
Sorry.
No offense, Brad.
Really interesting what he was saying. I promise. So we have exciting news. The circus is coming to town.
Really?
Yep. So on Monday they're going to be setting up. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday they will be in Doctors Park. The U6 fields in between the pickleball courts and basketball courts. That green space they'll be set up there. 6 o'clock.
Now, what date?
What date? Next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Each night starts at 6 o'clock. It's free to attend, free admission. You do have to go on and get your ticket. So be sure to go on, click the link that's on the Facebook page, and get your ticket. The name of the company is Kingdoms of Wonders. It's a medieval themed circus. It looks fun on the website, so excited to see them come to town. They will be in Katie's, I think, this week, and then they're coming through to Calvert City this next week. Setting right over here in Doctors Park. Earth Day is April 22nd. It is from 9 to 3 p.m. at the Sustainability Garden. We are partnering with the Health Department, the Marshall County Master Gardeners, and the State Park. We'll have crafts to do all day. And then we're also doing a tree giveaway. We have red buds, dogwoods, chestnuts, and red maple. So if you'd like to get a tree, come up there and get one. It is free to get a free tree. And then we also partner with the elementary school. So third graders will come to the Earth Day party, and we'll have a fun little crafts for them most of the day, which is always fun. We did that last year. They really enjoyed it, so we're doing it again this year. And again, if you haven't been to the Sustainability Garden, I highly recommend you go check it out, walk through it. It's really a neat little space. Food Truck Friday starts May 1st, 10:30 to 1:30. It's going to be here before we know it. And then Kites Over Calvert is May 2nd, 1 to 3 p.m. So that's what I got.
The circus is coming to town.
It's coming
What's the
to
biggest animal they got? Do you know?
They don't have
None.
animals. No
None.
animals.
No animals anymore.
No,
No.
I don't think there's any animals. No.
Just shows, acrobatic type stuff.
Yeah,
I got to
this
run an
is-
elephant up there when I was a
I
kid.
did. I could do it.
Yeah, they used to. They
Yeah, no, I don't think there's animals.
no, the
Probably
animal
the
the
same
animal
time.
gig is kind
Might
of
have been.
You remember?
I do.
Brad
I
and I
do know
both
that they
did.
say
Please
that.
start away.
well, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, a lot of those animals were.
Exactly.
We have to redo the whole
I
thing.
remember a circus.
Yeah, good.
Was that just like spur of the moment?
It
They were
was,
coming
yeah.
through.
Yeah, they were coming through. Yeah.
They're properly
Yes.
insured, and it's
Yes.
something that could be fun for the community, and that's, our park spaces can let us do that. It's really
Sort
fun.
of a
Me
They're not
too.
serving. They're not serving any beer.
Bring the boys.
Yeah, look on their faces.
Not serving beer, right?
Pretty cool. What was that?
Not serving any beer. Okay.
I was wondering if they had knives. Knives. They
Oh.
would be on a horse, but,
Do what? Maybe.
Jousting.
jousting, yeah.
Depends when. Okay.
They will have concessions.
Yes.
Turkey.
Funnel cakes.
I don't know.
Popcorn for sure.
Turkey legs.
That's what I said.
Blair, and again, apologies for leaving you out there. I can see you standing up tall now. Okay. She was drooping for a minute. All right. So Kevin, you got anything?
No, I was gonna give mine to Blair.
Okay. Well, Blair, you got to say something else. You got to say something else. Dustin, you got something? All right. Your family's business, your business. Yeah, I always say this, and you guys have heard it before, and I'll say it again. 3 businesses in Calvert City for sure that bring people to Calvert for no other reason, and they do business and they leave. I think fairly large group of people. I've always said this. Calvert Drive-In's one. It's not in Calvert. The Jet Marine is there, and the third one's you guys. I mean, I don't know how many people I see that need stuff, and they know, your grandparents and have come to Calvert for ages, and you've hooked them up, and I think your location and knowing they get a fair deal with your family and your grandmother was always a big part of that. And I know the community knows of her passing, and we feel that, that was a couple, and we've lost something there, and time moves on. So my condolences, and I think all of our condolences with your family
I do appreciate
and the passing of your grandmother.
that location's been good to us, and we hope to. And we're still going. We're not slowing down any, but I do appreciate that.
Okay.
They were a big part of it.
All right. Ralph? No. Okay. Nita? Okay. All right. With that, I think it's time.
How about we adjourn?
Got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we're done. Okay, somebody call.
Your cough's doing pretty good. Your cough's doing pretty good.
It wasn't that better. It's a little
It's gonna
better.
be fast tracker. They're changing the fast tracker. And
How's sausage going? Good.
I can't believe they're doing
So
that.
vegetable shops and stuff, that's gonna be here. I think it's great.
Are they still practicing here?
They are, and their day should, they're gonna start.
You know, practice.
Yeah.